Welcome back. Law enforcement agencies across Northeast Wisconsin are ramping up patrols for the Memorial Day weekend. Captain Darin Rice with the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office recently stopped by Off the Desk to talk about their efforts and what you can do to stay safe this holiday weekend. AAA is predicting that more than 744,000 people will be traveling on Wisconsin roads this Memorial Day weekend. And Captain Rice, your department will have deputies out in force, won't you?
Correct. We have our regular staffing. We will also have deputies on patrol enforcing seatbelt usage, OWI enforcement efforts, and speed enforcement.
And distracted driving too, right?
Distracted driving is always one of our focuses.
Sure. The Click It or Ticket campaign kicked off on May 18th. It runs through the 31st. That coincides with the holiday weekend. What do you see out there on the roads as far as seatbelt usage? And what do you really want to drive home, for lack of a better term, with drivers?
The majority of people are compliant with the seatbelt laws. Unfortunately, some people are not, and we have seen the tragic outcomes of a lack of seatbelt usage. We have accidents regularly. Unfortunately, some of those accidents end in significant injury or fatalities, and often there is not a seatbelt being used when we see a fatality as a result of a traffic accident.
So you're out there, you're checking. What type of ticket does a person receive if they're not wearing their seatbelt?
Failure to wear a seatbelt is still a $10 citation.
Okay, so buckle up not only to save the money, but to be safe. And in the case of an accident, it could save your life. Talk about what you've seen on the roads during Memorial Day weekend personally, because you've been with the department for about 25 years.
I have. Generally, Memorial Day weekend for our agency is not unlike any other weekend. The one issue that we do see is an influx of traffic. We are sort of a gateway to travelers who are heading north for the first holiday weekend or the first weekend of the summer for most people. Interstate 41 and US Highway 45 are both major roadways and major travel routes for people who are headed north for the weekend. So there's generally a large amount of traffic moving through our county, both at the beginning and at the end of the holiday weekend.
And you encounter some frustrated drivers.
Some people do get frustrated. It is much better now since they have redesigned that intersection specifically. 20 plus years ago, we would actually have to have deputies run the traffic lights at the ramps for that intersection just to ensure that traffic was flowing smoothly. Now with the flyover overpasses, it is a much smoother operation, doesn't require our deputies to be involved in the movement of the vehicles through that intersection.
During Memorial Day weekend, do you see a significant uptick in the number of drivers who are under the influence?
We do see an increase in alcohol-related issues. OWI arrests themselves don't generally spike, for lack of a better term, during the holiday weekend, but we do encounter different situations in which alcohol plays a major part in the decision-making process.
Do you feel over your 25 years that people are getting the message more when it comes to drinking and driving and maybe finding a designated driver or just not going on the roads?
I do think people are much better about avoiding driving after they've consumed alcohol. There are more options available now than there were 20 plus years ago. Between Uber and Lyft, I think there's more opportunity. And I think a lot of people are just ultimately making better decisions, perhaps better forethought and preparation for a night out.
That's good to hear. As far as speeding enforcement, you'll be doing that over the Memorial Day weekend as well. Do you see an uptick in that? People are anxious to get to their Memorial Day weekend destinations.
There is a fair amount of aggressive driving, especially on a weekend when people are in a hurry to get to their destination. We would hope and ask that people just be respectful of all other commuters and cognizant of their driving behavior and how it could potentially uh, negatively impact not only other motorists, but could end in tragic consequences.
And distracted driving, nowadays people have cell phones. And when Memorial Day weekend, you might have kids in the car. What types of things have you seen in that area?
We do see a lot of people who are clearly distracted by, as you said, either children or other occupants in the vehicle, their cell phones. It's really important that people pay attention. You can only control your own vehicle, so being distracted doesn't allow you the opportunity to react to somebody else's maneuvers. Um, there is construction through different parts of the county, specifically State Highway 21 in Oshkosh right now is changing daily with the construction that is happening. So distracted driving doesn't allow you the opportunity to recognize or react to changing road conditions.
And all of these topics that we talked about within driving, uh, if you get pulled over, I mean, you could face a citation.
Correct. If your driving behavior is egregious enough, the deputies have some discretion as to when to issue or not issue a citation, but they have to take into consideration the impact you're having on other drivers as you're moving through our county.
So, from the driving side of things, really, what is your message to drivers as they head out for the holiday weekend?
I think the biggest message is just to prepare yourself, give yourself enough time to get to your destination. Recognize that there may be some congestion. Things may slow down with the sheer volume of people that are traveling the same route that you are headed. While you're driving, give yourself enough reaction time, multiple seconds, several seconds to react to another driver's maneuvers or react to any quickly changing conditions in the roadway so you don't end up in a motor vehicle accident. Doesn't get you to your destination any quicker if you're involved in a crash.
Great advice. So, your department, the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office, will also have deputies out on the water, Lake Winnebago, the rivers. What will they be looking for specifically when they're out patrolling on our waterways?
We will have boat patrol officers out through the weekend, and they are simply there trying to make sure everybody's safe. They are available to help with stranded boaters if necessary. They will take enforcement for unsafe activities that are observed. They may have contact with the occupants of a boat to ensure they have the proper protective equipment or flotation devices, safety equipment available. And they will also be looking for boat operators who are under the influence of alcohol or other drugs. Clearly, operating a boat, much like operating a vehicle while under the influence of a substance, is a poor decision and could lead to very tragic outcomes. We have seen boat crashes in the past, not necessarily related to Memorial Day weekend, but in general that have ended with fatalities. They're devastating for everybody involved.
Absolutely. And you can't really underline it enough about just, taking the proper precautions when you head out on the water. As far as, swimming incidents, drownings, things like that, any advice for people who are heading out on the water, both in the boat or if they're going to get into the lakes or rivers?
Make sure you know your surroundings. Obviously, this spring has been a little different with the flooding and high water levels earlier in the year. So a lot of the debris that could have been in one area of a waterway in the past may have been moved based on the current and excess water that's flowed through the system. Make sure that you are prepared with safety equipment, rescue equipment, life jackets, life vests, throwable flotation devices in case somebody does have trouble while they're in the water. And make sure you at least notify somebody where you are headed if you are going out by yourself, or stay aware of where your party is while they're in the water.
And by law, you have to have a flotation device for each individual, correct?
Correct. Everybody in a boat needs to have a flotation device available to them.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you. These are all great tips. And I mean, it is worth reiterating this message every year, isn't it?
Absolutely. We just want people to be safe. We hope that everybody has a wonderful holiday weekend. We certainly want to remember the purpose of Memorial Day weekend and thank the family members and friends of service members who have ultimately or paid the ultimate price and sacrificed their lives.
And our thanks to Captain Rice. Coming up, some young football players got quite the surprise today. See who showed up at a local camp and the gift that special guest gave them. That's next on Off the Desk.